Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is Jimmy Lecauco. Again, you must have noticed the music before this, The Age of Aquarius, which was my theme song in my radio program, 23-year radio program over DZMM from 1992 to 2013, The Age of Aquarius. I had two theme songs. One is the theme song in Superman 1, and then The Age of Aquarius. So when you hear that, that's most likely my program. So from now on, every time we begin this program, you will hear the age of Aquarius. Now, what is the age of Aquarius? Well, there is no consensus exactly when the age of Aquarius begins, but it talks about the different ages. That every 2,160 years, there's a change in the during the sojourn of the Earth and the Sun, and it. The age of Aquarius, talks about the vernal equinox. The vernal equinox refers to the equal days, the time of day and night will be equal. That's the vernal equinox in spring, I think March 21. And according to the theory or astrological opinion, every 2,160 years there is a change, in not change in the constellation, but in the revolution of the Earth, of the revolution. Uh, Talks about a spinning of the Earth in a counterclockwise, in a not counterclockwise, different direction than the counterclockwise rotation of the Earth to the Sun. This is called the precession, and it happens to of the 2,160 every 2,160 years. There is a change in the constellation. During the time of the Old Testament, there was the age of Taurus, and we have a different symbol on that. Then came the age of Pisces. That's what Jesus Christ. That's why his symbol is the fish, because it was during the age of Pisces where the fish that he lived, 2,000 years ago. And now, according to some theory, we're entering the age of Aquarius. Says the year 2000 when we entered the age of Aquarius, but that's not uh, unanimous. No, there are some who said that it will be 1,000 years from now more before we enter the age of Aquarius. Now, what is the age of Aquarius? The age of Aquarius is the time when there will be greater spiritual freedom, not only individual freedom, the breaking down of all conservative conventions, on all in morality and social things, political, and there will be this, and there will be more peace according to the theory. Whereas in the previous one, there was a lot of warfare and there's a lot of confusion and strict adherence to rules. In the age of Aquarius, there will be greater freedom, and sometimes symbolized by the hippie movement. Make love, not war, and all that kind of stuff. Whether we are already in the age of Aquarius or not, well, some say we are, others say we are not. But anyway, tonight, or not tonight, this afternoon, I would like to discuss with you in this Jimmy Lecauco Live some of the things that I remember that are very unusual, the most unusual experiences I've had or that I witnessed in this paranormal field, which I have been studying for so many years. There have been so many unusual, extraordinary things I have experienced and I have witnessed that really led me to believe there's another dimension that we have. It's unfortunate that science doesn't believe in these things and say there is nonsense, all that kind of stuff. But it is not. There are different dimensions of reality, and quantum physics now admits that there are several dimensions of reality, not just one. And some even some scientists, quantum physicists, admit that there is the possibility that there are other worlds aside from this. There's the multiverse theory on parallel universe is possible. That as we are living here in this universe, there's another universe where we are acting also in another manner. And according to them, there are 11 of these. Now, esoteric literature talks about the dimensions, and they say there are 7 of them, and each of the 7 dimensions has 7 subdivisions. So this concept of having several dimensions or universes is true in the esoteric field. because science only now beginning to realize this. I mean, physical science only beginning to realize this, and it's a theory. It's not that accepted by all. But parallel universe, even time travel is now being talked about as a possibility. All right, but we're not here to talk about science. We're here to talk about what are the things that I have seen and experienced during the so many years. Ang dami. There are so many things that really boggles the mind, and why I believe in these things, because I have experienced them and witnessed some of this. Okay, let me try to recall. Sa dami nito, no, it's very difficult to recall which ones are the most unusual. Well, let me give you one example. There was a priest. He is head of a high school in the South, Catholic priest, who died in the morning. And there's a school that he heads in the South, high school. And that time, I think, sometime in the morning or noontime, the security guard of that school was approached by this priest and asked for the key to his room. So the guard gave him the key, and the priest entered his room. Now, while inside the room, supposedly inside the room, there was a knock at the gate of this school. And he opened it. And there was somebody carrying or pushing a coffin. And he asked, who died? Who's there in the coffin? Oh, it is Father so-and-so, who is the head of that school. I said, the guard said, that's impossible, because I just saw him. He's there in his room. He asked for his key to the room. I said, no, that's him. And they opened the coffin, and this guard saw it was really that priest who talked to him, who asked him for the key. So he was so shocked. He couldn't believe it. He started running, kept running and running. They don't know what happened to him. He never appeared again. Then when they checked the room where this priest supposedly entered, there was nobody there. So this is something that's I heard, and I know the school, I know the person involved, I know the priest personally, because I studied in the branch of that school in Manila. So I know the people there. So this is one interesting incident of a spirit really talking to somebody and even getting something that's physical, the key to his room. So that's one of the most amazing things. The other thing that maybe amazing that I cannot forget, it's maybe a minor thing, no, but this is about a picture that was taken in Mount Banahaw. And the picture showed a man and then a log that's broken, that's fallen, and was sitting on that log. And they were telling me, it was in Mount Banahaw in the lake, no? And that picture was taken just right after the lake. And there was this man who was seated, and they were telling me, can you see the duende on the right side of this log, that's fallen? And I said, no, I can't see anything. Now, in the picture, there are, makita mo part of the water of that spring or whatever you call that. And there are rocks. What I noticed was there was one rock where there is one half of the face of a man behind the rock. And so this is what I noticed. As you see this, there is this man, one half, ang kanyang parang nagtatago doon. And said, yes, I can see. And then somehow, I don't know what happened. I went into a trance, or I went into another state of consciousness. Then I asked, who are you? To the picture. I was talking mentally to the picture. wondering who is this person who is hiding yung face niya. No? You know what happened after that? This one half face showed himself. He moved away from the rock and showing his whole face. And you know who it turned out to be? Jose Rizal. Now, Jose Rizal, I know, has been appearing, according to the people in Mount Banahaw, appearing in Mount Banahaw for some time. Every now and then he appears to them. And there is a cult of Jose Rizal in Mount Banahaw. He also appears in Makiling, according to legend. And I was surprised. I went into trance and, fell down. I was sitting, actually. Actually, then fall down. My body just parang, how do you call that? No? Parang nahulog na ganun. And I fell, parang asleep. But my wife saw it, another person saw it. So tatlo kami who saw that this picture of a person move from one place to another. You can't do that in a picture because a picture is that's why it's called a still picture, because it doesn't move. No? But we saw it move. Nobody will believe this kind of stories, so I don't talk much about it. But there are witnesses to this story, and there are also stories told to me by two different doctors of medicine who said that they experienced patients of theirs who visited them, and they would find out later on that this patient already died, but they talked to him and to the secretary. And one was even being pulled or pushed by a nurse on a wheelchair. And this doctor told me he has not seen this patient for a long time. Later, they found out he was already dead when he visited that office. So, what do you make of these things? And there are so many. Aside from this, I have my first astral projection in 1975. I went out of my body. I was on the ceiling when my body was seated on a chair, and my consciousness was in the ceiling. My astral body was there. And then there was a time when I also went out of my body in Ciudad Verdadero, and I entered the boulder where I met an ET, a feminine ET. Nice looking, but it is very definitely an ET. With big head, dark eyes, small nose, small mouth, and talked to me telepathically inside the boulder. How was I able to enter this boulder? Well, my physical body was outside in a trance, and my astral body was there inside and talking to this ET. Now, again, who will believe me? But during the time I said that I saw something inside, another person said, a man who was a healer, said he also saw something, and I asked him to describe the being he saw in exactly the same description that I saw. A feminine figure, completely naked, but no breast, like female breast, but she's definitely feminine, and has long arms, and there were two beings flying like cherubims near her shoulder, another one at the waist, another two cherubims, and after the waist it's dark. I couldn't see anything. It's very, very dark, and I felt it was a very deep, going down, maybe several hundred feet there, maybe more. And I found out later that place is a laboratory of the of ETs. They conduct experiments there. So these things, nobody will believe. But I'm used to people who don't believe in what I'm saying because it's so unusual. And this is what interests me. And I was wondering, how come I'm so interested in this that cannot be explained by science? And I'm not interested in proving it to other people, because you may accept or reject what I'm saying. I'm not interested in convincing you that this is real. I'm interested in convincing myself. And it's more difficult to convince me than to convince other people, because I have a very analytical and logical mind. I cannot accept anything which cannot be proven. And I have proven many things to myself, to my satisfaction, which may not satisfy science, which may not satisfy you or other people. But that's fine with me. Because as I said, I'm not interested in convincing people that I am right. No, I am just interested in maybe sharing to those people who are with those people who are interested in these things. I'd like to share with them these things and expand their knowledge because they are too. And then I look for sources. I look for proofs of this somewhere, either here or abroad. And I've talked to people, some very great psychics in the Western world, and they believe these things. Those who have studied this very carefully. But those who have not experienced anything like this, they will of course laugh at this, and it's all right. I don't mind really people who laugh at these things. But now more and more scientists are beginning to realize there's another dimension in this world. There are two levels or maybe more, the realities. The clairvoyant reality, which is the paranormal reality, and the ordinary sensory reality. So we can get into that other reality through a trance, through an altered state of consciousness. You can see that. But if you're not in the trance state, it's difficult to get into that state. That's why many people don't believe in it. So there you are. There are so many interesting things that happen, and so many questions are asked about it. And I have resumed conducting seminars, and one of the reasons I want to have this video is to announce to you the seminars in June. We have a seminar on telepathy and another seminar on self-healing through visualization. And the third one is remote viewing. For the first time, we're going to hold a very interesting seminar on remote viewing. Remote viewing is technically called traveling clairvoyance. Remote viewing is the ability or the process of projecting your consciousness or awareness to another place far from your place, far from where you are, and which you have never been to before, and describe the place and what can be found there in detail. That's remote viewing. And this has been proven to be a real psychic skill. 20 years of study at the Stanford Research Institute by two physicists, Dr. Russell Targ and Harold Parham. And we will be talking about the history of remote viewing, how it came to be, and how they were able to prove that there is such a thing. And now, according to what I know, that the intelligence agencies of the United States, from CIA, FBI, and the military intelligence, are being taught remote viewing and spying on the other countries without leaving the U.S. So we're going to have this seminar this month. Telepathy will be June 12, 2021. Self-healing through visualization, June 19. Remote viewing on June 25, or no, 26. These are all Saturdays. Usually from 10 to 12 noon. The other one is from 2 to 5 in 3 hours. But we don't have the 3-hour program, which is the Soulmates Karma Reincarnation. We probably will have it in July. For those who are interested, you may call the following numbers. 0998 988 6292, and then another number is 8810 7245. So this is being flashed there. No? If you have any questions on any topic under the sun, anything of the paranormal, anything psychic, anything mystical, anything that cannot be explained by science, pass them on to me and we'll see. If I know the answer, we'll give you the answer and explain this to you. Okay, so some questions are coming out. Angie Lacson is asking, good afternoon. Oh, I've been a fan since my high school days. Thank you, Angie. Thank you for watching. Jasmine Magaway, good afternoon. Coco. Oh, he's from Project 7, Quezon City. Hello, Jasmine. Thank you for watching. M. Zorwis, good afternoon. She's watching, listening from Doha, Qatar. Ano oras na dyan? Sa Qatar. Okay, so M. Zorwis. Mervin Gubatan, good afternoon. I'm happy to listen to you from my high school days until now. I learned so many things from you. Thank you. This Mervin Gubatan, thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Nikanse Mina, can you create a seminar for digging and reprogramming into our subconscious? Oh, yes. I've been doing that since 1988. I have this program, but of course I have suspended it now, called Inner Mind Development Seminar, which is a 2-day seminar, whole day from 9 to 5, whole day. Before I used to have them, but then because of the pandemic, I suspended these seminars, and it's difficult to conduct that on the air or online. But my Inner Mind Development Seminar talks about how to program your brain to be able to do or to have what you want in life, how to attract luck, how to not attract, but really how to get what you want in life, to brain programming, or the law of attraction, law of affirmation, all that. These are all in the seminar. But some of these are in my seminars that that I am conducting. Part of it are there. Parts of it are there. Okay, Nikanse, thank you for the question. Okay, there are some other questions coming in. We will be answering them, even if I'm not no longer on the air. And so I'd like to end this by thanking you for watching. And if you have time and interest, to call us up for the seminars and join us in this exciting seminar. There's nothing like it in this country. Thank you. This is Jimmy Licauco signing off for now on Jimmy Licauco Live.